on bitumen and it's easier for us to work on it. So we're using the big Deutz and we'll tow it out pretty much. Alright, off we go. Patrick's in charge of steering and the big tractor's gonna tow it. Ooh! It's been like half a year since this thing was moving for the last time. It's the best tow point the Unimog has, because it can handle so much load. Yeah, besides the little elephant ear thingies. So we towed it backwards and now we're going front. So the tractor went around, we hook it up again in the front and then we tow it to this side of the yard so it's out of the way, not on the grass anymore. And the Unimog doesn't have brakes right now, so it is very tricky. But everything's flat, so it's not starting to roll anywhere. And if it would, we still have blocks of wood that we can chuck underneath, but it's still, there's a bit of tension in the air. And it's done, Patrick!
Augie has a new home.
That means so you can start working on the truck a bit more now. And also we know that the recovery points are working very well. Tested for the first time.
Yeah. Tested with no weight on the mod.
Yeah. So we're gonna cover a fair bit in ute liner, so it doesn't get destroyed by stones flying around and stuff like that. And we don't want to spend too much money on Raptor coating because we have friends that tested the ute liner and it worked so well, it like never came off. So we'll try that. It's black as well, so it will match the chassis color anyways. We are trying to figure out what to do with our entrance door. It's way harder than we thought, building your own door that's safe as well. Yeah, so we ordered those Rotary latches already and we're gonna build in 2 of them. We have this pretty much the same system in our van. That's how we got the idea, and we just chased the parts of the van, and then yeah, at the end we found these from UES and
ordered them from Prime.
Yeah, Reg ordered them.
Thanks, Reg.
And now we're just trying to figure out how to install them that it's also waterproof and dustproof, because we don't want to have like a cutout where it's not sealed and all the dust and water could get in. So yeah, we have been brainstorming. We'll show you a video about it. And now we did one thing we don't know yet is what handles to use on the in and outside. So yeah, it's definitely harder than we thought and very time consuming, but we'll get there at the end. And then it's a super safe and secure door, and
made out of steel.
Yeah, and no one can actually get in there. Even if they would unscrew the hinges, they can't even get to them. But even if they would destroy the hinges, these locks are made in a way that they can't get destroyed. So this is how the locking mechanism works. This is the striker pin and that's the rotary latch, like this. And when you lock it, you push it in. Now it's locked and there's no way you can get the striker pin out of here. No way, because there's a little lip right here. You can see it from the side. So you can't get the striker pin out. And also, these are really good latches because two-stage locking. So that's the first stage. Like the door couldn't open in this stage, but like this it's double secured. Yeah, it's like a car door at the end of the day. It's the same system. Since we kind of have a plan of what we want to do now, we will cut out the last side, the other long side, because we've done this weeks, probably months ago already. We're trying to figure out where to place the hinges. There will be 3 hinges. We're using the same ones like with the hatches. So this is a fixed pin, not a loose pin, which is good. And they will be on the inside, so no one can actually just take them off and steal the door.
Can't steal the door anyway.
Yeah, because of our locking mechanism, that's impossible anyways, but yeah. So one will be in the middle, and then we have 2 more, and we're thinking about where to place them. Cut the threads of the holes of the hinges, and now we're assembling the door. So the frame's put down onto the sheet, and now we will weld the frame together first. It's welding time. So I rough converted the sheet, that's why it's black right now, and Patrick is still grinding down the seams back there. And then we'll probably assemble it and weld both pieces together, as well as gluing them together like always. We only want to be in front of the TV at 8:30 and watch the Aussie Salvage Squat, because that's our date night every Tuesday, and it's just fun watching the big beast and Christopher the winch truck. Yeah, so we have another half an hour, and hopefully we can assemble the door before that. Happy weekend! We were really tired this week, and the work on the other farm was really hard, so we didn't get too much done. So now we'll show you what the door looks like. So the trim's on, it's all welded together. And today we actually want to install it, and that's the most tricky part, because you have to find the right position for the hinges so the door is nice and flat and doesn't stick out anywhere, and it's straight and all that. So yeah, this is the plan for today, and then we'll see. It was supposed to be really good weather, but somehow it is not spring yet, and it's still very cloudy and looks like it's gonna rain. So the door was still touching at the bottom side a little bit, and especially when you open and close it. So we decided the gap is not big enough and we have to adapt the door. That's what we're doing now. And Patrick started cutting off the welds. And this is what happened. Look at this. So it got stuck and completely broke. And this is just a reminder, it's always good to wear protective clothing. And also, it is important to get good grinding discs, good cutting discs, because you don't want this to happen, because that's really dangerous. And you can actually cut into your hand or anything. So yeah, now we're using a 3M disc, and we have plenty of fat discs that we're gonna use in the future as well, because we don't want this to happen again. It's getting serious. So we bent it a bit, and now you can see it's definitely not as wide as before anymore. So this is gonna come off afterwards, and now we're just welding everything back together. And then we'll grind off this side of the sheet and try again if it fits.
And then it will fit.
Otherwise Patrick's gonna freak out.
That's right.
Alright, the door is done, everything's back together, and now we have to adapt the trim as well, because obviously it's too wide now.
We're using too big of a tool for a small job.
Yeah, Patrick's using Big Bertha again. Try again. So we marked where the holes are going to be for the hinges on the door frame of the box, and now we're center punching them, and then we'll drill the holes. And we really hope they're gonna line up, because it's a bit tricky. Putting it in, so it's the moment of truth, if the holes all line up or not, because that's the trickiest part of the whole thing. Alright, what do you think?
I hope so, or else I'm gonna be pissed.
We're scared, but let's see. Alright, let's go outside.
Come through our new door.
Ta-da! Right. See if it's flush. or not. Maybe here not, but the trim is warped a bit. Yeah, it's pretty good. Since the door fits now, we have to put in the trim on the inside where the seal's going around, like we did with the hatches. Same process, just that the disc trim sits a bit tight. So Patrick has to use the hammer to get it in, and then we'll use the same seal, just this one, put it around, and then close it and find the right position and weld the trim on. That's the plan. Today we want to install a part of the locking mechanism for the entrance door. Yeah, we've been packing today, pink ladies, and we'll be packing again tomorrow. So we just have a couple of hours of daylight, like 2 hours, and we'll start it. Patrick is loving it. This is already our second attempt.
More like third.
And this is the catch we're using, and this is the plate for the catch, because we have a very special setup to make this fit, which you will see in this video. The first thing we're doing is installing the catch. And we just clamped it, and now we'll weld it on the side. Here you can see that we already did this before. Not successful. So now we'll try again. Now the height is pretty good, but when you close it, there is a tiny gap between the door frame and the seal, and we can't have a gap because then it's not sealing properly. Because we have to shorten this so it's closer. The whole mechanism is closer to the door, and then it should close it again. It finally worked. We'll open the door. Okay, Patrick, can you shut it?
So this is stage 1, and then stage 2.
Now that the top is working, we have to work on the bottom, so we have to make more holders, cut more steel. Brackets. And this way, the other way around. So one time we use a left hand and one time we use a right hand lock. So this is the opposite of the one before. As you can see, we still don't have a handle. We ordered one, but it's not here yet. So right now we have to open and close the door through the window, which is a bit tricky. But this will be in another episode, definitely not next week, because as you know, parcels take a long time to arrive. So next week you will actually see us working on the mug again. It's a lot we take apart, and you won't recognize the cap anymore afterwards.